So my mum did this and I was trying to check in the fridge if there was any beforehand. However, I ended up doing this. I kind of wasted my time. What a silly moo I am. Anyway, cue the title cards. Hi everyone, I am Nikash Gill speaking. I was meaning to make this cooking episode since last summer of 2018, but I wasn't ready and I didn't have the confidence to showcase this particular recipe on camera. But anyway, here it is, as I'll be making rice with chicken curry. This method I'll be demonstrated was taught by my mum. There may be a few slight alterations, but I'll do my absolute best. So, this will be completed in 2 stages. The first one will be washing the chicken, as I'll be showing you in a bit, and the second part will be cooking the chicken and also some rice. But without further ado, let's get started. So I'm not going to go through all the ingredients, although you can see some chicken on your screen. But because this is going to be a longish video separated in 2 parts combined in one, I'm just going to go through the procedures as we go through the video. So the first thing we're going to do, well there I am, is I'm going to take the skin off the chicken. So I'll just do one for example, otherwise we're going to be here forever. Now, I'm not the best when it comes to taking it off, but we'll just do it as we go along. With the thighs in general, I like to cut these in half so it's not too big and we get plenty of pieces for when it's being cooked or in the process of cooking. Next bit's very simple. All we're going to do is just wash the chicken. So you can either use some lemons or some limes, but if you have none of those, just use a bit of vinegar. Oh, it's something, it's just cleaning it. So just a small drizzle, and wash it with coldish water. And we do that twice, but you're only going to see it once. And we drain. Now we're going to add our spices and we're going to do them one at a time and then we stir. So we start off with 1 heaped teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning. Just sprinkle that around. I shall save a little bit after I stir a bit. Next we add 1 teaspoon of jeera stroke cumin, however you like to call it. And we sprinkle around. So now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of garam masala, if I've got one there is, or that's slightly less. Oh dear, put a bit more in there. That will do. I may add some more later on, just see what it looks like. I mean, I have done it many times, but first time on camera. And now we're going to add a third, well, I think it'll be a third of black pepper. And that will do. Gotta be careful with this one. And the same goes for the next one I'm going to sprinkle around. Now we add 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. Again, we need to be very careful with this one because otherwise it'll be very hot in some places. Although everyone has different taste buds, so some could be more used to spicy stuff than others. Me, I like things medium at its highest. I mean, I've had hot pepper before, but I like it mixed in. And finally, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of paprika. Wow. Actually, it doesn't look like there's much, so I'll just put it all in. Looks alright to me, but we'll save the rest of it for the next day, where we're actually going to cook the chicken followed by the rice. So, I'll see you there. So here we are back with another day full of more cooking. So this stage is we're going to be cooking the chicken, which is right over here, which is what I did the previous day. But before we do that, you need to chop up some extra seasoning. So here we've got some onions, some garlic, some seasoning peppers, and what have you. I may have held it a bit too high, but never mind. So we'll be needing roughly 1 heaped teaspoon. There we go. Maybe a little more, so about a heaped teaspoon and an extra teaspoon. Oh, and I also chopped up some potatoes, which will be put in a bit later on, as you can see right here. Right. Next up, we'll put some oil in. I'd say like 3 dessert spoons, but I'm going to cheat a bit. And at the moment, you'll hear my washing machine. So I do apologise if you can't hear me that well. So I'll try and speak up a bit. So we'll put that on a medium to high heat. Maybe in this one it's about 5.5. So with the spices, we're going to put more or less double the amount of what we put in our chicken, starting with 2 teaspoons of seasonal, might be a little less. So I'm just going to put it all in, give it a quick stir, wait for it to sizzle, and then Bob's your uncle. Probably 1 heap of jeera. Probably 1 heap of garam masala. I will do this one correctly. Oh, not again. Ah, well. I'll just do 2 of you. It's because it's trapped inside the bag. You know what? Let's make it 3. It doesn't hurt. I need to be a little quick because I don't want it to burn or anything. Right. Half a teaspoon of black pepper. I think that's half. Slightly less. That might do the trick. Half a teaspoon of chili powder. There we go. Oh, I could hear it sizzling a bit, so that's a good sign. But that does mean I've got to go fast, but not too fast. There we go. 1 heap of paprika, but don't go overboard. Or you could just say 2 teaspoons. It's all in the description. Then we do 1 heap of curry powder once I get this lid off. There we go. Remember, these are just guidelines and I'm just trying my absolute best. You don't have to be a perfectionist because it's all about experimentation and trial and error, or however you like to call it. And finally, 1 heap of hardy. Give that a nice quick stir, but not too much, making sure all of it is in. Yeah, it'll look something like this, so I'll be adding in the chicken very shortly. We're now going to add our chicken into our pot. So we'll just do it bit by bit so it doesn't splash. So we're going to let that cook for roughly 10 to 15 minutes, or if the chicken gets plenty of colour. So here's what our chicken looks like. It's got plenty of colour, so I think it's ready to add our next bit. Let's get that in position. Alright, so we now add our potatoes, just to thicken the gravy. Not sure if you can still hear me. There we go. Now we're going to add around half a tin of tomatoes, chopped tomatoes I should say, maybe slightly less. Doesn't matter if it's plum tomatoes, but that's okay. Because these are peeled plum tomatoes, I've got to chop it down a little more. Give it an extra stir like all around, and probably leave for an extra 5 to 10 minutes. So this is our progress so far. So at this point we're going to reduce the heat and put the lid on and just leave it for a while. There was one extra step regarding the chicken that I wanted to do, but since my mum came into the room, she showed me how to do the following procedure. So you add some boiling water, you then sprinkle some salt, give it a quick stir and reduce the heat, and also leave it for a little while longer. But anyway, and as a last minute suggestion, also by my mum, we're going to serve an extra vegetable, so I chose some cabbage. So she did half of it just to show how it's done. So we're going to cut one whole cabbage into small wedges, if I get it correctly and don't make it drop on the floor. So it should look like that. And then over here, we then put it in the colander, or however you pronounce it. Sometimes I'm still working on it. Let's just wash that cabbage all over, or as much as I can. So next bit we're going to do is to cook the cabbage. So we could use 1 dessert spoon of oil, but I'm going to again cheat a little bit. This time is ticking. Might be a little much, but oh well. And then you do 1 heaped teaspoon of the chopped onions, which I showed you earlier. So we put it on a medium heat, give it a quick stir, and then we add the following 3 spices, starting with 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and that's it. As my mum came into the room unexpectedly, I was unable to show you a few procedures, so after adding 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, I also added 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder, also 1/2 teaspoon of some jeera. I then added the cabbage, as you can see, and then I need to sprinkle in some salt. Oh, that's alright. Then I reduce the heat quite a bit. And that's alright. And just cook it for about 10 minutes. I mean, I haven't really done this before, so I'm still learning. And now we're on the final part of dinner, so that would be the rice. Hooray! So, because there's 5 of us here, and we're doing this for slightly more than 2 days, we'll be pouring, wow, this is a bit tricky, 7 cups of rice. This is turning out to be a fail, but never mind. Then we rinse it with cold water, then we drain any cloudy starch, and then rinse. So we do this about 2 or 3 times. Okay, so let me give you a rundown of what's been going on whilst my mum was teaching me a few things or revising on what I should have done in the past. So, with the red kidney beans that was cooked from earlier, but I haven't cooked it myself, you pour them into a large bowl, and then in this pot shown right here, you then add some oil and 1 heaped teaspoon of chopped onions. You bring it to the boil at full heat and let it sizzle. Then you place your red kidney beans back into the pot and you add some coconut cream. Then you put the rice back inside, but because I did 7 cups and there was already water inside, you then add roughly 10 cups of water and then you let it cook for probably 20 minutes. So far it's only been 10. And so far it should look something like this, but that's just so far. I'm still learning here. Take 2. Alright, so here's our final product. I did the best I can, but Did I enjoy this episode? Well, I was hoping I would, but I did struggle a lot. But, oh well, it was still practice. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, why don't you cook a recipe of your choice and click that like button, however you like to put it. And feel free to check out my other content, including Facecam and gaming. This is Nick Ashgill saying thank you all for watching. Take care, folks. I'll see you next time. Oh, there's my hand.